Denise, hello. Let's just admit whoever's coming. No, I'm gonna mute you. Don't take it personally. No, it's fine. I mean, unless you want to talk, then by all means, please talk. Kim, oh, okay. Hey everyone. Yeah, really do wish we had more time so I could go around and really ask, how's it going with that? How's it going with that? But for the sake of the recording and people that will have to listen back to this, and for your time's sake, let me jump straight into it. Deadlines are hectic. Yeah, I know, but I mean, it's such a tough one. Like you guys chose to do something really difficult, which I'm assuming most of you are either working full time and still doing this. So yeah, I get it. Ease it off. It's almost over. You're almost there. Stop the transcription. Okay. Um, Again, I mean, there's just standard slides so bear with me. One or two things are like a little bit not different. But might not be relevant. You'll see what I mean now. So a few things to go through from my side today. Um, Feels very administrative, but we have we don't have much time. Not to put you under pressure, don't feel panic, like, oh, everything's due, but because of all the holidays, etc., we don't have many sessions left. It doesn't mean you can't drop me an email. There were quite a few, quite a few like real students, eh? Like day before submission. Yeah. Um, so yeah, if there are any other questions, just email, even a Teams message away. Okay. And like I said before, if I don't, if it's been a day or two and you haven't heard from me, just resend it. Sometimes. Although things sure are a bit better in my inbox at the moment. Okay, everybody. So I wanted to go through assignment one very quickly, just some general feedback. I'll talk about the ICE tasks. I want to talk about your group and your group contract stuff. If you have done it, I want to talk. I see some of you are, but we'll talk about that now. And then assignment two, if this time you'll see the slide say we'll do it 13th of April. So that's when the other class will be doing it. But if we have time and if you have the energy, maybe I can go through it. I wouldn't mind going through it earlier so that you and your groups can get going. I mean, you can read and it is straightforward, but my conscience would feel better if I just went through it with you. Okay. I think, if I remember to just stop the recording halfway and maybe do a separate one for assignment two. Although there will be another video coming for assignment two that also explains it as well. So there are more resources coming around that. Okay. So assignment one, I'm almost there, everyone. There's just a few. I've maybe got like a handful. I want to say 8 left, and it's only like the third question. So I've marked them question by question because that's how I always mark, like old school teacher. But the marks are looking good. I should have them. I want to promise you tonight, but let's say tomorrow, they should all be released. So within kind of policy. Uh, but in general, yeah, it's looking. Yeah, this is a bright slide, eh? Wow. Sorry about that. That's bright. Um, okay, so yeah, and you'll see. I'm not the only one who isn't. I think the other classes are still like have a few to go. Um, in general, it's not looking bad at all. Majority, yeah, not at all. I think the only time is like to speak very generally. The only times when people really did badly is if they didn't answer the question, like not left it out. Like the one question was 4 to 500 marks, and someone wrote 135 words. So I mean, I can't, So obviously, I mean, imagine you're going to get less than half the mark. 'Cause you've only so you get my point. So that kind of thing. On the infographic, some just like did a chart from Word. And I mean, there's a reason. So I think one of you might have had a late night comment from me. I was like, if you can't do this, I didn't say it like that, but I was like, if you can't do this, how are you going to expect your students to I was saying something not ugly, don't worry, but I don't make many comments like that. But I just like the idea of this infographic thing. I mean, you could have done it easily. Probably I wouldn't have punished you if you used like Notebook LM. And I know some of you might say that That's not your thing, or you're not techie, what. You have to learn to be. Or what are you gonna do out there with our poor children? Eh? I mean, what are you gonna what are you gonna subject them to if you're not gonna try? So I'm quite serious about that. So that happened on a few occasions where people just put a chart in. So obviously then you lose those marks, some of those marks. Some of them like just citations and sources. I mean, it wasn't a big mark in the rubric, but it is further down. Okay, and what else? Okay, then yeah, going beyond 2012. This question around the policy, the need for it, lots of, so it was different here. I've got a different comment to the other classes. His comment was different. And in my case, lots of you did well to describe the aims of it, but not really get into why there was a need for the policy changes. I know it sounds similar, but the need is the problem and the aim is the plan to solve it. So some of that was kind of missing. Again, just like in-text references. Like I said, some of this is an all mine class, my group. Question 2. Whoa, these colors, man. You need it? Oh, do you need it really? Yeah. Oh. Can you still read like that? Or do you need the brightness back? Oof, sorry. So the floor plans, the submissions for many students was very poor. Now it's still hard to read. Okay. I'll fix it in editing post this. Um, See, not mine wasn't poor for many. I was the type here for half. So I had a really half experience here. Some copied and pasted some, yeah, like just the desks and the wall, just desks, teacher's desk, door. For one of them, I even wrote like window. Is there no window in the school? I'm not saying you had to put a window, but it was that bare. The labeling. I was like, oh, you could at least have put a window in this room. You're really making it look like a jail cell. So poor labeling. And it was what I didn't fuss too much, but about norms and standards, classroom. Um, I mean, not that you had to make it a tech crazy class, but I mean, I would have thought. I know it says not overboard, like not saying you put in labs and iPad corners, but media corner. Some of you had a reading corner. Um, I can't think of many that even had like an overhead projector. I know it sounds like silly, but that's the kind of stuff. Didn't mark you down crazily about it, so don't get into a panic. But just in case you're wondering, okay. Um, I almost wanted to say, yeah, lots of people, yeah, okay, all did well because of that, but it wasn't really a big AI experience. I didn't find this too bad. Some of you, you'll see I made a comment to, obviously you can't. Um, I said, this sounds very robotic in the beginning, but then later on you'll see people, like you can really hear it's their voice and not even a humanized AI, like it sounds like a person. Um, But all in all, quite happy with those conversations around constructivism. I feel like the assignment worked if you did the work. The lesson plan, and this was just to tell you to not be all freaked out. So however you did it, we would have marked it, not to be held against you. Okay, using the lesson plan that we gave you, the one we gave you, your own one of the internet, or drawing up your own table. The idea was just if you could lay some of those things out. I guess here my biggest challenge is just being able to pick it up and understand what you're saying. Some of you it was clear, and some of you it was like you're making bullet points for yourself. I get the table was small, but I must still be able to make sense of it. I guess is my big critique for some of you there. And then you'll see some of them had comments like, is there enough time for this? Now, I didn't go and hold that against you in your marks. Okay, some of them are just questions and observations. So don't take it any of it too personally. Academic writing, oh, this sounds very serious. Just read this here. You are postgraduate students and we have zero tolerance in referencing it. Oh, that sounds very behaviorist. So you get the drift. I don't have to repeat what that is saying. Okay. I'll put the slides up, but just pay attention to your referencing style. There wasn't that much of it in this one, as in your next assignment where there is a lot, and there's 4 of you working on it, or 3 of you. So they definitely will expect a lot more. Okay. So that's academic writing style. There is a lot of highlighting going on here. I did see it, but it's not. Okay, assignment two contracts. Okay, so I want to pause there. Everyone cool. Assignment one, any major questions? I know you haven't gotten it back yet, so you might have some when you get it back. Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone has failed yet at all, someone just over 50. The marks are looking kind of nothing for you to worry about. If you did the work, if you have something to worry about, then you have something to worry about, then you know you do. Okay, cool. So no questions on that. I'm gonna assume silence is sharp and golden. Okay, so just some admin again. Assignment to contract. So and some of yes, Michael. Stop.
I was just wondering on the floor plan question, you said, we could have put some technology stuff in, but I thought in the question paper it said you shouldn't
Yeah,
add,
that's why I'm saying
any sort of.
yeah, that's why I was trying to kind of not correct myself, but contextualize what I was saying. So the point of the question the in the question, the idea is that people mustn't go off and make it into like a Google lab, you know,
Okay.
where it's not affordable to like a normal school. The
Yeah.
idea is people mustn't go and come and install hot desks and hundreds of smart boards for each child and iPad stations and not no. But I mean the basic stuff that a class would have, is I
Okay.
guess
So no, I understand
yeah.
what you're
So
saying.
that's why I
Thank
said
you.
I didn't make a big deal about it. But I would just have thought that people would have had fun with kind of adding in stuff. Some just yeah. But
Okay.
yeah, cool.
Thank you.
No, no, thanks for asking. Um, is this goodness gracious? Okay. So I checked because lots of you said you were already in. Sorry, yes, is that Kashika? Kashika, is your hand up?
Hi, Mr. Morgan. Hi.
Hi.
Um, yeah, look, I did ask this question to my lecturer for EMS, but I'm still kind of confused about it. There's been a lot of reference to learning outcomes that are specified in the CAPS, and I'm doing my course over 2 years. So my current term, I'm only doing EMS as my specialized subject. And in the CAPS for EMS, I cannot see specific learning outcomes like blatantly stated. Um, I don't know if someone can explain to me what I'm missing or yeah, so for my assignment, I basically sort of like made up my learning outcomes. So sorry, Mr. Morgan, did you hear that? I can't hear anything.
Oh my goodness! Do you see me scrolling and scrolling?
We've been
Because I've
seeing
got
this,
it on
but
another screen
I'm
and I
gonna
was
mute
just
myself, yeah,
chatting
and let
away.
you explain.
Wow, God, how long did you all leave me hanging there? Did you not see me highlighting your peep? Oh, my goodness, sorry. Okay, so as I was saying, these essentially would be like your main topics and your subtopics. So I don't know, this is a bit of a boring example. Okay, yeah. So under sectors of the economy, did you do the primary sector, secondary sector, the tertiary sector, types of businesses in the sectors? So these would then. So when you said you made up a topic,
Oh,
did you make up
sorry,
like a
no,
learning?
no, I didn't
Yeah.
make up the topic. So the content is clearly stated, but
Mhm.
so you've got the content clearly stated, but there should be learning outcomes
Well, I mean,
separate to this.
oh, you mean like in higher education where you've got the
Uh,
student is able to demonstrate the ability to explain the primary, secondary, and tertiary sector? No,
yeah,
no.
okay, I've got to just think about this again because I just assumed that there would be a specific section that stated learning outcomes, but separate to the actual topics. Because like, you know, understanding content is still different from like being able to use it. If that makes any sense. But look,
No, I know what you mean. Like it's missing the adjective and the doing word. And what are they like? Students are able to explain the participants in the circular flow. That's kind of what's missing. But yeah,
yeah.
when
So
we say,
anyway, we
when we
can
refer
discuss it
you,
again. I don't want to take up
it's
time now.
no,
Yeah.
this is important for assignment too. So it's like really, it's critical for the next, it's exactly what, because you can be unpacking these for assignment too.
I've also noted, Mr. Morgan, that like I've just downloaded the English caps because like some of the guys in my groups are doing English, and it seems like each caps actually, obviously the subjects are all specialized, so it makes sense that it will be set up differently. But yeah, I was just trying to compare the two to see, does one actually state blatant learning objectives while EMS doesn't? So maybe you can maybe go into that and compare what one subject would say as learning outcomes and what EMS is saying.
No, yeah, it's an easy answer. Like, you know, all the caps have got exactly the same formula. So I'm showing you the senior, the FET phase. So again, topics, and I think there's a little bit more detail here, but it's not what this kind of thing over here, which is in your senior grades. So it will say microenvironments. So it basically lists, but it's still the topics explained. It doesn't give you what you're thinking. You know, the student is able to demonstrate an understanding of. The student can recite, explain, apply the 8 business functions. No,
So I
that
think
is
you've
not.
hit the nail on the head there, because on the lesson plan, that's what we expected to state, isn't it?
The topic.
Okay. Okay,
The
then I
topic.
misunderstood. All right.
No. It's a valid. I'll pull up another one. Yes, technology complete, and this is a grade 7 to 9 one. So a completely valid question and simple to misunderstand. But I mean, you'll see that almost every subject they only refer you to one document, and that document is the CAPS document. And there's nothing hidden. You know, there's nothing else that's supposed to go with this. This is it. So you'll see. I mean, this is overview stuff, not topic specific. So topics. I've never worked with technology, so I don't know. Designers need to have an understanding. So there's a bit more flesh here in this subject. Let's see. Sorry, I'm scrolling so fast, everybody. But when it comes down to it, yeah, what is technology definition? This, like, you know, this seems a bit better than the EMS one. But I think it was written a bit more recently, so probably. Yeah. So, but to answer your question, like this is it, you know?
Okay. Okay. No,
Yeah.
thank you.
Cool. So yeah, I know we went on for a while, but I think that's important because you have to work with quite a few of those for assignment to everybody. Okay, so I was talking about the contracts. It is, sorry, on ARC over here, you'll see there's a little tab at the bottom that says pay contract submission. But before everyone runs off and does that, please someone tell me, because like I said, you indicated in I think the last session that we had that you were already in groups. And like I said, I checked on ARC. I don't want to show you now. I don't know, Poppy or Act. I don't know what I can and can't show you live. So let me see if I can look on my side without showing you. So I just want to get to the bottom of this to know if there's a lot we have to do or not much we have to do. I saw in the chat someone asked about where do we get the contract. Okay, check on the FTL ARC page under, I'm reading what you said here. There's a section for groups. Okay, I hope this helps. Okay, so I'm assuming people that registered late might not be in a group yet, because I think this was covered in that first session before you split up into my group, is when I'm assuming it happened. I don't know if anyone is willing to speak up and just help me understand here. So if I look at it now, I've got up to 12 groups already set up for this group, for this group 5, for the assignment. Are you asking for a direct question? Okay, maybe that would help. Can I ask, are you all in a group? Or maybe I should say, if someone is not in a group, then say, I'm not in a group. And I'll assume the rest of you are. Thumbs up, the rest of you are. See, now that bothers me. Who's that? It said a student in another group, because then it could have been before the split. Okay, Michael, you are in a group. Okay. Shanice, thank you for volunteering. Can I quickly just check the group 7 I have, and if your name is in there? We'll talk about people not responding now. That's another big issue. Yes, okay, you are in group 7, and I can see the other people, but whether or not they're in this class, I have to go cross-check. I know the one person is. Okay. So you'll see about, so this is going to happen, this question of, group members. And so it looks like most of you in a group from what I can see. Okay. Now, next one. Okay, I see you, and I see you, Devin. Okay, that is the next issue about can't get into sign contracts. Okay, cool. I'll get to that now. So the rest of you that are in groups. Okay, so you're saying, I'm assuming then you all have a contract and you have it signed. Have you uploaded it anywhere, like onto the other lecturer space? Because that is what this submission thing is for here. This, if you have not, and this is just to, yes, please, someone speak. Michael, yes, words.
We found our group members. I see a lot of people on the WhatsApp groups are looking for their members, but I think a lot of them are struggling. I don't know if it's in our class, but in some of the groups, they're struggling to get hold of their members. We didn't realize we needed to upload the contract yet. We did in our own group discuss it, so we'll just get it done and upload it now. But I've at least found my members. We have a WhatsApp group, so should be
Okay.
easier for us at least. I know some people are struggling to find their groups members. It seems to be quite a problem. I don't know if it's a problem for our class, but I have seen it on the WhatsApp.
On the WhatsApp. Okay, can I ask, can you just tell me, Michael, what is your number? I won't check in on else's name. I just want to see if this thing is up to date. Do you know your group number?
Our group number is group 5.
5. Okay. Okay, well, I mean, I'm giving everyone if there's anyone in a panic about not getting all of their group members, I've got one in the chat so far.
So I also see if you go into ARC and you go to where your group is, there's a little email icon, and if you click on it, it will
you can
open an
email the
email for you
group.
to be able to email everyone. I don't know if that
Yeah.
will be helpful.
Yeah, no,
to
I could
people.
email the group. But it's cool. Like I can see yours. You are group 5, which means you are in the right place. So that is perfect. Okay, so the contracts, don't worry. I mean, I know this slide says it was due already. Like you didn't know, so how is it due already? Like I'm not going to freak out about it. But the idea is that the contract covers both of you, like me, me and yourselves, especially in the group. So please do it, because we've only instituted the contract because of all the fights about this one didn't do the work, this one didn't pitch up, hasn't communicated, etc. So this sorts that out. And so now already, if people aren't signing the contracts, then cool, we know we must move you, and the others must then carry on their own. So it's a good thing if you can sort that out now and get it out of the way so that you can get stuck in. There are a few groups that have got 3 members, but chances are they might have started. So I'm going to ask you, and I'll put an announcement also, if you are not in a group or have not heard back from your group members, like this thing says, by Wednesday, 1st April, cool, then I will do some rearranging of groups. So if it ends up that you are alone and no one has gotten back to you, then we'll take you and someone else that maybe registered late, and we'll create a new group. Okay, cool. So, and then, Kishika, I see your question. It is available on Arc. I've uploaded it like in two places under the lecture resources and over here where this it says pay contract submission. So there's one submission thing and there's one here's the thing I'm showing you now. That's the actual contract. There's another one in the assignment. I think this one is a bit more detailed and covers you a little bit more. You'll see one in the assignment as well. That one, you can complete and submit when you submit. But yeah, if as long as you've submitted this one, I'm fine. Okay. Um, iStars 2. Sorry, are there any other questions about that? So group work, I will send out an announcement and a reminder. So I mean, 1st of April is tomorrow, so I'm going to kind of say is it tomorrow or the day after? Is it 31, 41 this week? Yeah, sorry. So the first is Wednesday. I think that's cool. If people are serious enough, I mean, 24 to 48 hours. Okay. And then we'll sort out anybody who does not have a group. So I'm going to say in there, if you are not in a group or if you have not heard from your group members, please email me your name, student number, etc. Email me. Okay. Cool. I start to. So this is on the last slide. They said something about there are 5 tasks, 5 ICE tasks. The idea is that you can choose 4. This next ICE task is the one they want you to do like a lesson plan again. I don't want people to be tempted to copy and paste the same one from the assignment, and I don't want to play police. But you can also most importantly, I don't want any pressure on you because I know there's a lot going on. Um, so ideally, yeah. So I want to say you have a choice. So look at the others. There are 4 on the list, on the I task list. 5, sorry. There are 5 on the list. Look at the others. You can do this one. But I'll put it this way. I'm not going to be too bothered with kind of the due date for this, which was supposed to be next 13th. And was it? Where's my page? So yeah. So just all I wanted to say was think about if you want to just kind of rush to do this one or submit the other one. But please remember you must submit 4 iStars in order for teaching experience. It's kind of, yeah. Okay. That's the compulsory engagement that they spoke of. If you don't know what I'm talking about the iStars list, it is already on R. So all of them are in one document. So yeah, I start to like we're never gonna be 30 March. Okay. So happy to move that out. Just that the final date for all of them is the 20th. Okay, sorry. But yeah, said happy to extend this a little bit. If you want to do this and you need some more time, I have left the submission box open. Okay. As in not closed. Okay. I stars 2 out of the way. Then assignment 2. Oh yeah, this is I already said this, so I'm not going to repeat this. For the 5 I stars, remember you must at least submit all 4 of your I stars to qualify for teaching experience. It's part of the compulsory engagement. Last thing, okay. So now this is what I was saying earlier on assignment 2, 13th April. It's 1:30 now. Oh yeah, then sorry. Then they do this every year. There'll be another kind of detailed recording about the summative assignment, which we'll post. And also if you have questions, you're welcome to reach out to me. So if you'd like me to try and cover the summative assignment in this session over here, I don't want to confuse people, but I'm happy to go through it on the 13th if you want me to go through it then. Okay, so let me pause there. Maybe just thumbs up is easiest. Do you want me to tackle the assignment too? Is that a hands up or yes, or you're saying something? Yeah? Is everybody got the energy? Cool. Okay. Let's do it. Just give me a second to just swap over. No worries. I'm not gonna lie. This assignment, like, it seems intense. I won't lie. I love it. Like maybe like one of the better ones I've seen in a long time. Like it really makes you work through the theory, which you're gonna hate me saying because I said the word work. Um, just in case, like, oh, you haven't had like enough engagement in class. I think this, yeah, I really do like this assignment, and it's gonna look like a lot. I know that, but that's why it's a group task. It's about the same amount of work as doing an individual. I would tell you that. Uh, so I guess brace yourselves. And that's why I wanted to talk about it today so that you start early and don't leave it for too late. Before I read anything else, I think it is in here. This, yeah, I think I'm gonna start. I want to start with that sentence. This is probably going to be the most important part for me to kind of corroborate anything. So you'll see further down. So keep it in a file, even your WhatsApp messages you can export into a document and just send that. No printing up, no nothing like that. You can just dump all your emails in a folder. But when there's any question, so lots of the questions ask you to do individual parts. So it's going to be very easy. I know once we get into the assignment to say, okay, you do part one, I'll do two, and I'll do three. So I can see that almost happening where people are going to say, okay, I'll do question one, I'll do question two, I'll do question three. So I really don't want that. We don't want that. Um, and so this, like I said, sorry for the scrolling up and down, but this little bit of this evidence, I mean, I want to look at the first meeting you have is going to be really important, and I want to see there how you divided it up, and then I'm going to read a little bit later, and I've got my own little personal vendetta about group work, so I'm telling you up front, so I'm like not being, she's not a threat on the lives, but um, yeah, we even like did a paper and a conference presentation around this last year, and now initially it is like rejected by students. They don't want it, they just want to get done. But if the communication is good and if everyone pulls their weight and does their thing, it actually becomes like quite a cool experience. And it's a requirement that our qualifications have more collaborative work in them, and we don't. So I'm pushing for group work like a madman. So I'm not saying that's going to affect how I mark your work, because I've got a vendetta against group work. But I am really interested to see like how this plays out. Can you all contribute? And then either like really learning that takes place. Like I said, I think it's about the same amount of work as having to do an individual assignment, if you had to. But just now you're splitting it up. So yeah, that's my own 2 cents. Cool. So very quickly, a group size up to 4. Submission, 1 to 3 are group, and then question 4 is a short reflection question, which is individual. It's all explained further down. There's a group, I spoke about the contract that's included here, and there's one that you're actually going to send. That's the one that I want, the one that you're going to send. If you choose to complete this contract when you make your submission, perfectly fine and lovely, if you like filling in all the blanks. Okay, the entire assignment is really, I mean, this is putting it lightly, about not about pulling a pail, lighting a fire. But easily good. Really do like this assignment. It really, because it makes you do practical things for class. You're gonna have to share some ideas around what will work. And hopefully it means when you leave here, you've got like a 3 or 4 ideas like, oh, I could do this. So then it's not like you can't say you were never taught or exposed to stuff like using problem solving to teach a class. Because what often happens when I go and see students at schools and I have to go and like do the teaching, the TE pracs, and I go and mark you and that kind of stuff, then it's like you people say guys, people become like the teachers at the school, like the old school teachers, because like somehow you forgot about doing anything fun with your students. You stand in front of the class and lecture and lecture and give them a worksheet. And I want to lose my mind that like we can't keep teaching like that. So this is an important cornerstone of that. So and that kind of explains most of what you're doing. So it's going to ask you to basically design different parts of lessons, activities, etc., using all like different approaches, constructivist problem solving approach. And that's kind of the thing throughout. Um, so I'm not going to read this all because I'm giving you as high level as I can. So the first question, I really ask you to discuss. So as a group, reflect on these competencies and attributes. Let's just choose one, for example. Okay, the first one is straightforward. Identify and solve problems and make decisions using critical and creative thinking. So, and I mean, I always tell this to any student that I lecture, is your subject is not like some people are really in love with their subjects and they just want to talk about their subject. And your subject, yes, it's your vehicle, and that's the thing that you drive in order to teach these kids something. But the something you're teaching them is the stuff in front of you now. The subject is cool, but like, people always joke like, oh, are you going to remember that maths when you leave school? Or like, it's a joke, but also not a joke. Like some of it, yeah, you will forget. But so it's this stuff that you must teach. It's not your subject is lovely and it's beautiful, whatever you teach. So how do you do this in your classroom? So it's trying to tell you, how do you impart some of these skills through your lesson? So these attributes through your teaching, okay, and build that like into your classroom practice. Okay, so it asks you to start reflecting on these over here as a group, critically reflect. So already there's a phone call, a WhatsApp call. I mean, for evidence, just put the transcription thing on and you're done, copy paste, and that conversation should be some of your answer if you do it properly. If you record the thing and you go back or you take AI to the meeting, I don't mind if you invite AI and the AI summarizes your conversation, then that answer is done. Okay. So I want you to look at the grade 8 CAPS document, select any two learning objectives. I see this is this was you're talking about, more specific term and or week. So you see like term and or week, the only thing that tells you term and or week in the CAPS document is this. So term 1, week 1 or week 2, what topic are you going to choose? Okay. Now, it's not saying you won't cover all of this. You actually are looking at like the subtopics. That's why I said what you're asking is so important early on. So I'm grateful you asked it. So these, I mean, you can't cover all of this this is the whole topic. Like it says, this is weeks 2, 3, and 4. So if you look at weeks 2, 3, and 4, they're saying 3 weeks to cover this. So, I mean, yeah, in reality, the accounting equation takes 2 weeks at least on its own. And in the cash transactions, it's quite easy of a trading business, that's like a week. But I mean, I didn't expect you to know all of that. And I don't know all of that for all subjects. I just happen to know this subject. So that's what they're looking at. So, okay, in a lesson, so this is 1 week, and it says here 1 hour per week for accounting. So this is going to be more or less, you don't have to get this perfect. I'm not saying you must must be precise with timing. Just relax. I'm just giving you an example. So this is the topic that you're going to focus on. They're saying you must choose any tool that you want to use. So whether using together or not. Okay. And then, I mean, obviously, and I don't want to give you examples, but so problem solving, you could like, again, I don't want to give you case studies or whatever as examples. That's what you must go find out. So how would you use problem solving as a teaching strategy for that topic? So again, like here, I'm not trying to encourage overuse of AI, people, please. I want us to get to a point where we use it like cleverly. We don't use it to submit our work like some people try to. Um, like if that generates ideas and that's what you're going to discuss in your meeting, yes, man, that's like time saver. That is productive. That is efficient. You know what I mean? Say one of you wants to generate, or you all generate on a ideal if you all generated on a different chat, on a different bot, like one's on Grow, one's on Gemini, one's on Thing on Chat or Chatty, whatever name you want to give it. And that becomes your conversation, and now you start your recording. Boom, chocolate. You know what I mean? Done. Obviously, you must go back and verify that with sources. Don't just take anything that AI gives you, please. Okay, double check, confirm the sources, make sure it's right. Go look for the text. I'm gonna go look for some text. Okay, as an example, I just copy the whole thing in and I go find the article and then I just search for a part of it. I do it. I'm painful. Okay. Some of these things are quite straightforward. I don't have to read this to you. Choose the 2 topics, 2 marks. I already did that. Okay. This comes from your conversation. Provide a group rationale. So this is your conversation. So like I said, easy 3 marks. Just get on the phone, talk about what you're going to do. And I'm going quickly. I'm just trying to watch the time. Examples of content you would teach to achieve the objective and how this very creative thinking. I mean, see now here it says at least one example each group member. So, I mean, you can try and be full of nonsense and you can try and cheat and one person answers all of this and makes it up. Cool. Okay, cool. But I mean, yeah, I don't want to get into threatening space. I'm just saying it could be so easy in one phone call to get this all done, transcription copied, neatened up, submitted, instead of trying to do the other way, but yeah. So, and then there's a whole investigation. Like, it's so boring to have to investigate if I suspect that something's weird. Like, oh, I must go read this question and go read the other one and see if it sounds like it's different. Ugh, boring. Okay. Thought-provoking, straightforward. So the next question is very similar, and again, you can go work through this. It takes inquiry-based learning. Okay, and now it's going to ask you to do something different. Again, so how can it be applied in your subject specialization to enhance critical thinking? Sorry, I'm over here, and promote meaningful learning engagement. Very similar. At first, ask you the theory, so define it. So that's straightforward, that's easy. Choose one grade, again, straightforward, easy. Choose a different one. Two objectives, straightforward, easy peasy. Okay. And then this is where you have to put your thinking caps on. What's an inquiry activity? And important, explain your rationale for choosing this topic and how it will help. Again, like this is so easy if you just sit and you discuss it. I know you people like to WhatsApp and text, but I think it would be faster. Or go for it. Do you booze? Okay. Third one, very similar, but now you're looking at differentiation and constructivism in this question. Okay, very similar. I'm not going to read through all of it. Very simple, similar plot. Again, choose an activity, choose a topic from your subject area, and then develop a little plan around that. Okay, actually, no, I'm lying. Sorry. Yo. I'm skipping over the big one. Sorry. It's this last one. I'm picturing it's this one over here that I'm not gonna like waste time on. Sorry. So this is the big one. My bad. Okay. This is a recording that you're gonna have to do. So again, this all the technical stuff. A clear and explicit application of constructivist and differentiated teaching principle. Each group member is required to take responsibility for one section of the plan, such as discussing the objectives, the strategy you're going to use, why using constructivism, what visual resources you're going to use. Okay. Individual roles must be clearly identified and acknowledged in the introduction. Should be presented in a recorded format. It's not saying what. Saying a suitable option is a PowerPoint recording with a voiceover if you want to do that way. If you want to do something else, welcome to. Is an example here of how to do a PowerPoint. Okay, it must include use your checklist, the grade and the subject, the 4 objectives you're going to cover, topic and subtopic. I mean, straightforward. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you. Okay, and we have time, so it gives you more instructions. The duration of the video should be 6 to 8 minutes, allows 2 minutes per person. It's all here. Okay, and then this is the reflection individual part, and this is really straightforward. I can't explain that to you. Okay. How are you feeling? I know that was super fast. So my suggestion is to read this and read along with the rubrics. Whenever you read these questions, make sure you read the rubrics as well and see what it is that we're looking for. My recommendation, suggestion is that you get cracking on, I don't know, your first meeting and your contract. I know you've got lots of things going on, so the sooner you get started, I think it might be really like the better. And as I was trying to show you now, I think, I mean, I don't know how you must do it, but I know how I would do it, The initial meeting, kind of not divide up who's doing what question, but divide up what has to happen in each question. Everyone goes away, does a little Google, does a little search, comes back with their notes, discusses it, wham bam, takes out, yeah, and then I think you should be on your way. But if there are still any other questions, you can ask me. There will be another recording coming, I think, from Mr. Rampal. He'll probably do another recording, which I'll share about this also in more detail. Like I told you before, I think if he says something in there and emphasizes this a lot more than me, don't get into a freak out. Just drop me a mail, Teams, or wait to see me in that next section or the next day, the 13th. You can ask me then, but just don't save yourself a freak out. Okay. We can clarify it. What else? Okay, yeah, so we'll touch on this again on the 13th. There'll be some stuff which I'll share in the week to upload. I'll send a reminder about the contract, please, to upload that. And if you are without a person, I'll send that also on the announcement just to remind you. And yeah, and then we'll also cover the summative assignment, I think, on that last session. There will be a recording, like I said, but I'm happy to just do a quick run through. If you don't feel like it's too much at once, you could want to not hear about that then. Okay. Okay, shall I pause for questions? I see people typing, not rushing away. Yeah, man, one person should, I think one person is fine. One person is cool. I mean, you should all like you already have a group number, so it's the other way around. If you didn't, I'd say, yeah, to correlate them. The final date, let me get my own tracer out because I changed the date in our conversation. Hold on a second. So I said, yeah, I start till 30th of March. I mean, the 30th is now. So I just don't want to cause like more of a bottleneck further down here, which is why. And sorry, this was wrong. I only saw this afterwards. I think on the one I uploaded. So I should show you and then upload the correct one. So I will, let's do it together. So I don't know, you must tell me. I can just leave it open for those who have submitted. I'll just leave it open. I don't know, so I could say the 3rd of April. I mean, that's just to put the date there so no one freaks out. Maybe I'll do that. Okay, let me do that. If you have submitted, great. If you haven't, don't stress. Okay. I'm really not too freaked out about iStars being on the day, as long as you've got a lot going on. Just manage your load and do the work. Don't try and send me all 4 like the day before let them are due. That's gonna kill me. Like it's gonna ruin this relationship. And then I said we'd get to this close to the end of the term. I feel like it's close together. This is like 2 weeks time. But then you're working on assignment 2. Okay. I'm gonna move it out a bit, and again the same thing applies. Okay. Cool. Happiness? Any objections? Happiness? Everybody? Cool. Is that everyone? Yeah? Okay, everybody. If it feels like I'm quiet, just shout if you have a question. 'Cause, I mean, I just assume that everyone's just moving or like managing their massive workloads. But if there's anything you need, just drop me your email. Okay. You have a good night. Good luck. I'll be marking. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks, everyone.